The following feature presentation is part of the Skywalking Network.
Thank you, Skywalkers, for coming back for the second half of our 2024 Year in Review, episode 498, with James Floyd, Kevin, and Angela Vincent. Now, in this half, we discuss fandom surprises, what is the appropriate hashtag for 2024, and if we could go back in time, what would we tell our 10-year-old selves about this past year?
Are you ready?
Off to Neverland!
Here we go!
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land.
When I first made Star Wars, everybody in Hollywood said, well, this is a movie Disney should have made.
You're more than just fans. You're family.
Best day ever!
Secrets loud.
It's about family, and that's what's so powerful about it.
Hey.
When you use a bird to write with, it's called tweeting.
When we visit the world of Disney, we never grow old. It's a Peter Pan, Never land that keeps us young in heart.
This is Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you are skywalking through Neverland. I have a good feeling about this.
Happy New Year's, Skywalkers! So, have you agreed with our choices in our 2024 breakdown so far? We would love to see your comments in the posts of these episodes. But for right now, we want to welcome you back to
Skywalking Through Neverland.
I am Richard Woloski, but now everyone please say hello to my sweetie wife, Sarah.
Hey, should we have changed outfits?
Probably.
You know what? I can switch this. Check it out. Costume change.
Now no one will ever know.
There we go. Look at that. Oh, it's a pretty color. Isn't that pretty?
And we cut back to, hey, look, Sarah just changed her outfit. Wow, you are a witch, aren't you?
Yes.
Your power is to change your outfit.
Elphaba Glinda.
All right, now you just revealed a secret. You peel back the curtain.
Like the wizard.
Mm-hmm. All right, now we are being sponsored by Small World Vacations, and they are a diamond-level Disney vacation planner travel agency that can help you book your trip to a Disney park around the world, or on a Universal trip as well, or on a Disney cruise. They do so much. Why would you not call Small World Vacations? I don't know. So head over there to smallworldvacations.com for a no-obligation price quote and tell them Skywalking Through Neverland sent you.
Now, let's continue our 2024 breakdown and see what we're looking forward to in 2025.
Quick, change your outfit.
All right.
All right.
So let's move on to what do you feel was overrated in 2024?
Oh, I want to go first here.
Okay, Richard, go ahead.
The importance of being a social media influencer. All right, stop it. You're ruining it for everybody else. How many times do you have to go to a Disney park and you see all these influencers trying to do this little TikTok video or something and interrupting everything else, getting off a ride just so they can get a click here or there. And whenever they get caught, they say the same thing. Oh, I'm doing it for my followers. It's like, well, what about everybody else? All right? The world does not revolve around your little bubble. So stop stopping in the middle of a busy walkway to send a text or to post something. You're like a rock in a stream where everyone's going to move around you, except for us, because we'll right into them. Oh, sorry, we didn't see you there. You social media influencers, stop getting off our rides and stop ruining it for everybody else. All right?
Literally look for the people following you, like physically following you, get out of their way first.
Yes.
Those are the followers you should worry about.
Absolutely. Or pull to the side and wait till there's like a space. That's what we did on the Witches Road. Like when we made our videos, we like found a space that no one was walking through and like did a little witches circle, and it was fun.
If someone had wanted to come by, oh, you go right ahead. We'll finish this later on.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you're being conscious. You're being good people. We talk about this all the time. We're at the parks. It's just about being conscious of other people and not just stopping in the middle of something and not paying attention to like what else is going around you, and what's respectful. Yeah.
We got a really fun game where we'll walk right through a crowd of people and just stop right in the middle of them and just start texting our own stuff. Oh, love doing that so much. All right, Sarah.
Oh, okay. All right. So I felt it was overrated in 2024. 2024 was the year that Run Disney came back to Anaheim. And I was very excited about it. I was able to finally get tickets. I ran the 10K in the half marathon and then finally the half marathon, but it was really hard to get tickets. And so I feel like after the 7-year absence, like it hasn't been in Anaheim for 7 years, but now the races have changed. Like I haven't been to them since 7 years, and they're just very overcrowded, and you have to pay extra to get in your A and B corrals, which really affects your race. Like
They charge extra for that?
Well, basically, yeah, because there's like this gold membership or something that you can purchase, and it's like $900 a year or something. And what it does, yes, it's ridiculous. What it does is it allows you a day ahead to buy your race tickets. Like it doesn't even give you a discount into the races anymore. So like they have this tiered system basically now. So only if you pay extra do you get to get in like the A or B corrals, which, you know, if you're in a later corral, it's harder to get pictures with characters. You're running when the sun is up higher. You know, it changes your race. So basically, and the costume guidelines are very strict now. Like I remember when we ran, we did those big giant BB-8 costumes. Those would not be allowed anymore. Yeah. So it's become too popular and I don't enjoy it anymore. And I was very sad to understand that after running 2 of the races back here. So now I am happy to do virtual challenges that keep me motivated. So,
and what else is overrated? Telling your husband how much things cost.
Yeah. Well, I didn't purchase any of those extras, but
okay,
yeah.
good.
Yeah, no.
All right.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Okay, because we would have words.
Oh yeah. No, that's like this tiered, it's like a gold membership that allows you to buy things early and get in a race tent where you get a drink after the race or something silly, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. But I didn't do that.
Well, you do the virtual races, you'd be happy with it.
Yes, I'm very happy with those.
Good.
All right.
That's my goal in life. Make you happy.
Okay.
All right, James.
What?
What do you feel is overrated in 2024? James Floyd.
James Floyd is here. Something is overrated. Really, I think Comic-Con offsite activations. The word activation I don't like, but all the things that are offsite that you can go to. Normally, in the past, I used to be working at Comic-Con, so I'd never get a chance to do them. And then as I started doing more panels, I didn't have to work during the day, and so I'd go try and do stuff. And just the fact that you have to wait in line so long for sometimes so little of an experience, and you're just like, oh, that was really disappointing. Or it's like the item you get is cool, and you're like, well, that wasn't worth 5 hours of my life. Like I got here, pretty early, like 8 a.m. to do one of them because it was like, oh, Futurama. I'm excited for that. But I got there at 8 and it was already like 3 hours long, and I'm like, and it didn't open for another 2 hours. So I was like, yeah, I don't need to stand in this line. I'm going to go live my life somewhere else. And same thing with some of the activations that were in the gas lamp. They had like some cool Star Trek thing that, like you had to do a little scavenger hunt, but the reward is, I don't know. I just felt like activations are overrated nowadays. Like some of the ones that they had in the past were really cool when they first started doing these offsite things, but now it's just too much.
Yeah. Okay. I understand that.
Yeah. Unless you get a media pass, then you can walk right up to the front of the line and say, hey, we've been podcasting for 10 years. Let us in.
Yeah. So maybe go that route, James.
Just saying.
That'll be good.
We'll talk. We'll talk for
all right.
This summer.
Yeah.
All right, Kevin.
It's tough. It's tough because I try to think like what was overrated, because I'm kind of like when we go see a film, and not saying any of you guys are like this, but when we go see a film or whatever, we don't go into movies like with our arms crossed, like impress me. We just like, oh, let's just see what this is like, and either we like it or we don't or whatever. But I don't know. I feel like as far as overrated, I can't really think of one thing that I was like, it's so overrated. Like the Eras Tour. I mean, that's amazing to me. I'm not into Taylor Swift. My wife is, but it's just like, I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. Like that she has gotten to this level, and it's like, you know, she's been around forever, but like right place, right time, and then all of a sudden it was the right time for her to blow up completely. And this Eras tour was just, it was, you know, it was just insane. It was crazy. But as far as overrated, I don't know. Back to what you guys were talking about, parks and people stopping, I could do without the bubble wands all the time in the parks. You know? And again, I love kids, and kids, it's awesome you have bubble wands, but as you're walking, like we're walking, I'm like, I have bubble juice all over me right now, and kids are like, wee, and they're just holding it, and there's bubbles everywhere, you know? So, but again, I'm not starting, you know, stop banbubblewands.com or anything like that. I'm just saying that's great, but there are times where I'm like, I don't really need all those bubbles on me at that point, you know.
Yeah, especially if you're eating a turkey leg and now it's like sudsy and
yeah, of course,
tastes like Joy dishwashing liquid,
popcorn
well,
bubbles.
We always joke around, like we're at Disney Springs or any of the parks, and we have a drink or something, and it starts to snow, and we're always like, "Oh, cover your drink right now."
Yeah.
And then it'll taste like Tide Pods. All right,
bubble wands. Overrated.
Kevin says, "Take the bubble wands out of the kids' hands."
Okay,
that's right.
Got it. All right.
Like I said, like before, I was talking about Ghostbusters. I didn't really feel like Ghostbusters was overrated. I just felt like it was just kind of like, okay. I kind of left the theater not feeling anything, you know?
Yeah, it was
it's
there.
a Ghostbuster film. Yeah. It should have been a spectacle, and it wasn't.
When you have Paul Rudd in a film too, and like we've only seen the movie, did we see it like twice or something?
Which one?
The Frozen Empire.
Oh, we watched it twice.
Yeah, and like I kind of like watching it again. It was, I hate to say, too many characters, but it's like you have Paul Rudd in the film, and you're just using him for like just to move the plot along instead of being funny, instead of being Paul Rudd. Or, you know, you could have Dan Aykroyd in it or Bill Murray, and it's just and still like the funniest parts of Frozen Empire, and this just because I'm an old man, is Bill Murray. The lines Bill Murray said, I mean, I could sit there all day and just listen to Bill Murray. That's funny to me, you know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big time. All right, Angela, what do you feel was overrated in 2024?
Her
husband.
So Kevin's answers.
So I did say earlier that my personal highlight was doing the RIP tour for Halloween Horror Nights, but then my overrated thing would be Halloween Horror Nights itself this year for Florida. I've never done the Hollywood one. And I don't know if you guys have done the Florida one, but we always have like 10 houses, and I think it's a lot bigger than it is out in Hollywood. And it's it's something I look forward to every year. I love going through all the houses and just looking at all the detail, and just like if I get scared, that makes me even more excited because I like to get scared in them. I felt like this year I didn't get scared at all in anything. And we've talked about like this year, because I kind of told him that like I didn't really care for this year that much. But yeah, I was a little bit let down by some of the houses, and like they had, what were the IPs this year? So Frozen Empire was one of them, which
A Quiet Place.
Yeah, Quiet Place was a really good house.
Yeah.
I did really like. I would say the best ones were definitely the IPs, the 4 IPs that they had. So Frozen Empire house was cool to look at, not scary at all, but I don't think it's meant to be. And then the Quiet Place one was really good. The Insidious house.
You got scared in that.
That was the only one that actually scared me. And I love that house. I love those movies anyway. Those are my favorite contemporary horror movies. But the house.
They also had like the 50 years of Leatherface. We had it over here.
No, not Leatherface. The chainsaw, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That's Leatherface. Yes.
Did you guys have like Universal Monsters, Maze?
We did, and for me this year, the worst. Weak house. It was supposed to, and I was really excited for it.
Hold on, that wasn't the worst house. That troll house next to it was the worst.
I liked that one better the second time we went through.
All right, this podcast
is over. Universal Monsters house, I was really excited for because I really have liked the last 2. But I don't know what it was for you guys out there, but this year it was supposed to be like the females are like taking over kind of thing.
We had the same.
I feel like it was really weak for that. Like I was really expecting a whole lot more, and there was a whole lot of dead space in there just where nothing was going on. And I thought that maybe it was like when they change out casts and stuff, but every single time we went through it, it was the same. And I'm like, I don't think anybody's over here. I just think this house is kind of dead. But I didn't. Yeah. So with the exception of the 4 IP houses, I would say all the original ones and stuff, I just was kind of let down.
Oh, the scare zones were fun though.
I didn't even like. I thought the scare
You didn't like the Blumhouse scare zone? That was fun.
No, I think that it was in a horrible location in this really tight area. Like if they're gonna do the Blumhouse characters, that needs to be in like a bigger area because that's the scare zone that's gonna draw all the people like wanting to take pictures because it's characters versus all the ones like with that Renaissance Fair scare zone, which was like random, just whatever people at a Renaissance Fair that had like the biggest space for a scare zone. And I'm like, that's where Blumhouse should have gone. Because walking through the Blumhouse scare zone, sometimes on a busy night, it was like you're shoulder to shoulder, front to back with somebody just trying to get through. Everybody's stopping because they want to take pictures with Megan. And I'm just like, oh, this is terrible. And yeah, the scare zones for me this year, really, really bad.
Can I speak to this point really quick? A quick rebuttal. So my wife feels the way she does about Halloween Horror Nights. I mean, well, first of all, she loves Halloween Horror Nights, like she said. But yeah, she didn't really like it that much this year. And for me, I just kind of feel like she's been to Halloween Horror Nights every year since 2007. I've been to Halloween Horror Nights. I went to the first one in 1991 when it was called Fright Nights, right? And then I worked a Halloween Horror Nights. I was Ted in the Bill and Ted's Excellent Halloween Adventure Show for a few years and a couple other things. But for Halloween Horror Nights, for me this year, like I heard what my wife said, and I don't disagree, like that's her opinion. But for me, I'm like, well, what does one expect from Halloween Horror Nights after you've gone so many times, right? I mean, do you really expect to be super scared? I mean, yeah, there's jump scares and stuff like that. But for me, Halloween Horror Nights is about having a drink, walking around through the scare zones, looking at the fog. Here in Florida, it's great because the sun is going down. And it's just that, for me, I like soaking in, the ambiance of just like, oh, this is the horror season. This is Halloween, And yeah, sometimes some houses are better than the other ones. And then some years, some of the houses are better than other years. But for me, I always ask the question, which I asked my wife, what does one expect from Halloween Horror Nights? And it gave me everything I needed for what I need from Halloween Horror Nights.
Did you have the Frankenstein house? Yeah. Thank you, Kevin. Yeah, because we had the...
She did the... Yeah, she said they had the Universal Monsters
but it was,
one.
Yeah, it was the
female.
It was the women.
It was, what's that?
Van Helsing's. Yeah, Van Helsing.
Yes. Yeah, so I think they had the same maze, but you guys didn't have your maze in the actual soundstage where the 1931 Dracula was.
That really helped.
Kind of made it
but still,
amazing. I don't know.
But I thought that maze was really, really, really good.
I liked it, and the second time we went through, I liked it even more because you had time to like look at some of the set pieces and stuff, which I thought were really nice. Now, but I get it,
I get both of your points, and yes. I think we'll go to do these Hollywood Horror Nights at Not Scary Farm or Universal, but then we'll take off a couple of years.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then come
and
back,
then we'll go back,
and suddenly it'll all be fresh again.
Yeah.
So if you go back year in, year out, sometimes it does get like, okay, I know I'm gonna turn this corner. Someone with a half mask is gonna jump out and scare me, and I know someone's gonna reach out from under a bed and grab me from there. So it does get a little predictable. So yeah, that's the advice we would give: is take off a couple of years, but then you ruin your track record.
Yeah. I went to Horror Nights. I went to Horror Nights at in Hollywood last year, and I loved it. And one of the things, just quick side note, that always boggles our mind is that here at Universal in Orlando or Universal Orlando Resort, like if you take a picture in the house, they will hunt you down. They will bring security out, Orange County Police. They're like, you need to delete that photo.
They'll kick you out of the park.
They'll freak out, right? And we're not over exaggerating it. And then what was so great, because my wife couldn't go, why was I out there? Oh, I was out for a festival.
The Halloween convention, right?
Oh, that's right. I went to the Halloween 45 convention in Pasadena last year. So I was like, oh, let me swing by, Halloween Horror Nights. But the weirdest thing in the world for me, it was walking through a maze in California with my camera out and videoing everything. And I'm texting my wife. I'm like, I feel so weird right now because in Orlando, it's like such a big deal.
I mean, they've got people like stationed in the corners, like watching out for people who take their phones out. They're like yelling at before you go into the house. They're like, turn off your phones, put them in your pocket. And
we're not talking about idiots that put their flash on or something or have their light on.
Even if you try to discreetly do it, they will get you.
But then the weirdest thing in the world is when they have press night everyone's in there videoing
all the
everything.
influencers
So it's like,
go through with their cameras.
That's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, out here, if you don't have your camera out, they're like, "Hey, you're in the top hat. Get that camera out right now."
Well, and the scare actors will play to your camera.
Of
like,
course.
it's really fun.
That's what I was
yeah.
telling my wife, of course. And I feel like it's a little bit of, we always talk about the difference between Disneyland and Magic Kingdom here at Walt Disney World. And there's just so much, I'm not saying every single cast member, but there's so much more of a laid back feeling at Disneyland with cast members. They're like, "Oh yeah, for sure, you can do this. It's great." Where Orlando is like, technically you can't do this. And we feel like that's what the whole photo thing at Horror Nights is a little bit like that. Like it's almost a Florida thing versus a California thing where they're like, "Yeah, sure, take pictures. It's fine." Where Florida's like, let me think about this. No, so.
Interesting. Different attitudes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's move on to this question here. What in pop culture surprised you? Now, if you went to D23, there was a surprise coming every 15 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So, Sarah, let's start with you. What surprised you in pop culture in 2024?
I'm gonna say Wicked, because it surprised me at how popular and what a huge fan base it already had, like a built-in fan base. Like, I remember really liking the musical. We've seen it one time, and I love the music. Like, it's great, but it hadn't really been resurfaced in my fandom until this year. And it just, like, its popularity surprised me, and I kind of got swept up in it. Like, the merchandise was everywhere. There was clothes, there was makeup. I bought makeup, of course. There was a themed diner at Universal Studios. We went and ate there. Like, the press and the merchandise really felt equal to the press and merchandise ramp up to The Force Awakens. And also the fact that it followed Agatha all along in witchiness. So like, this whole year has been really fun with the witchiness and stuff. Even the Acolyte has witches. So like, this year leading up to the film, I reread the original 95 novel by Gregory Maguire, and I listened to the Broadway soundtrack a bunch before watching Wicked, and we watched Wicked with our family on Thanksgiving Day. And yes, I like bawled through the ending scene. It was such amazing thing. So I had such fun with the fact that it had such a huge fan base, and I was just, yay. And
She was bawling and she was singing.
Yes, and wear my Elphaba makeup set. Yay.
But she was singing to herself.
Yes, I wasn't singing out loud. Yeah. So that was definitely a pleasant surprise for me.
Okay. All right, Angela.
I actually kind of have to go with exactly the same thing, because that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, it just kind of really took off, like, everywhere we went. Like, we went to New York before Thanksgiving. It was
Halloween
yeah
show.
Oh yeah, it's Halloween. So when we were there was just Wicked everywhere. The advertising, like, on all the screens in Times Square. I took so much video of it too, because I'm just like, this is crazy. There's just Wicked
for the film
all over the place. Like, for the movie, for the show, the Broadway show. So it was just everywhere. And then, like you're saying, like, all the merchandise and stuff. Like, he got me.
Did you get anything?
I did. He got me for Christmas. I got Wicked earrings, Wicked Glinda kind of pajamas, pink fuzzy slippers, and a Glinda headband. But yeah, like, I went to the movie, when I said I went with my friends, I went dressed in like whole like Glinda getup. So I had all the pink and everything. And yeah, it just was like, that just kind of like took me by surprise. Like, even though I was looking forward to the movie, I don't think I expected to come out like loving it as much as I did, and just like being so excited, like, just with everything that was going on for it, like all the hype for it and everything.
Yeah. Now, Universal in Orlando, they had like a whole Wicked experience.
Yes.
Did you get to do that?
We went to that, and I wore my pink so that I could get some pictures and stuff. But yeah, it's kind of just a little walkthrough exhibit of like costumes, but they're not the screen used; they're just replicas. But they have like special, like, I got what is it called? Ozvocado toast. So I got that, and then I got some kind of Oz dust drink or whatever it was that they had. And what else is in there? I think
did they have the characters?
They did.
Merchandise?
We didn't see them when we went. I think it was too late. But yeah, I think they're in there doing meet and greets during the day.
Wow.
It's exciting for me to see her get so excited about stuff, because I'm such a nerd. If something comes out, I'm like, I need the popcorn bucket. I want this T-shirt. I want the action figures. I want this. So to see her get so excited about it.
Yeah,
really
I'm very like, I'm not as openly like when I get excited about stuff, then it's like, oh, she must really like it. Because like, otherwise, I'm like, yeah, I'm smiling on the inside. I really like it. It's fun. It's cool. But then, like, if I really like something, then and it shows, then he's like, oh, she likes this.
Yeah.
But then I'm also really known for being really fickle. So I'll like really love something one day, and then like 3 months from now, I'm like, yeah, I'm over that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now, being called wicked, I didn't hear anyone in the whole movie with a Boston accent. Really disappointed me. Like, come on, the Elphaba.
I don't know if you can see this or not. Hold on. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I just pulled it up. This is our Christmas card this year. I don't know if you can see it or not. Well, it's hard to see.
You recreated the Wicked poster.
Yeah, can you see it? Here, I don't know if you can see it or
And
not.
she's Glinda whispering in your Elphaba ear.
That
I
is
love it.
wicked awesome.
Yeah.
That was
That's
like a
amazing.
last-second thing because we always try to do a funny Christmas card. And it was a last second thing. And we were on our couch one night and we're like, oh, it's really coming down to the wire. What should we do? And we were trying to think of something funny and clever. And then I said to Angela, I go, why don't we do the Wicked poster? And she's like, and of course, she was like, oh my God, yeah, of course. And yeah, we just ordered the
This one on
hat.
Amazon, we're like, okay, green makeup. I need some kind of crown. We need
Wow.
The witch hat, yeah. And then when we went to take the picture, I wore like this black scarf, but I had a black t-shirt on, but it had print on the front. And then we're in the kitchen and I'm like, let me just take these dish towels. And so what I'm wearing is I just put like 2 towels like right here underneath the scarf. And we took the picture within like 5 minutes. We're like, oh my God, I think we got it. So it was fun. It was super fun.
That's awesome. Wow.
That is funny. All right, Kevin, what surprised you in 2024?
God, what surprised me? I mean, like, again, I would agree with both you guys, not to make it the Wicked podcast hour, but it's like, yeah, I mean, Wicked, that was just impressive. You know what surprised me? I mean, again, going back to the Taylor Swift era thing, I'm not a big Taylor Swift fan, but I'm not a hater. Again, going back to, hey, like what you like, enjoy what you enjoy, never apologize for it. I mean, like seeing Taylor Swift do so well, and not only that, but to see like so many kids and so many people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s going to the show and like having almost a quasi pseudo religious experience from it. They were so happy. Again, not a Taylor Swift fan, but I was like, oh, that's so cool. So I thought that was really neat. I thought that was really cool. Like Deadpool and Wolverine, that wasn't a surprise, that we'd all, if they did it well, we all knew that was going to, do well. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I think like Wicked and the Taylor Swift thing, as far as pop culture, that surprised me,
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that surprised me too, the Eras tour. I thought it was great too, you. All right.
Highest kudos to Taylor Swift
Absolutely.
for just keeping this machine going for decades. There's only like a small handful of artists that can say
She's
that.
like Madonna that way.
Yeah,
like,
and even Britney Spears rose with her audience.
Yeah.
I think that what bothers me sometimes, and this is just a side note, but what bothers me sometimes is that if like for example, you guys said you enjoyed The Acolyte, and I mean it. I love that you guys loved it. Now, if I don't like it, I don't like when people go like, oh, you just didn't understand it. You just didn't like it because it's not what you wanted. And it's like, or it's not what you expected. I was 13 years old when The Empire Strikes Back came out. And when Vader said, I'm your father, none of us expected that, but I still loved it. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of those things, like what you like, enjoy what you enjoy. But if you don't like it, it doesn't mean you didn't get it. It's just that you didn't like it, sometimes, So,
and it's not a personal insult to anyone else that you didn't like something. It's like, okay, different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
But if you say you don't like the holiday special, be prepared to be seated for a 2-hour lecture.
Oh boy.
All right, James, what surprised you in 2024?
What surprised me in 2024? I don't know, kind of going back to the previous question of things that maybe didn't live up to the hype. I was going to say Beetlejuice. That's just, I don't know. I saw it on the plane coming back from Madeira, and I was just like, yeah. But, again, like what you like. And if something, you don't like, just, okay, move on to the things you like. And, you don't have to hate on people who like it or bring people down, or if you, super positive about something and you can't convert people, or you just let people be, basically is the message here that I think Kevin and I are saying is just let people be and enjoy what you enjoy. But I think a personal surprise for me was getting invited to the screening of Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy, the animated series that happened up at, was it at the Egyptian?
El Capitan.
El Capitan. It was at the El Capitan in Hollywood, and I took my daughter, little Jawa, up, and we came, and it was like her first time, doing anything sort of, special VIP type thing. And so that was just a surprise to get invited to that and be able to go with that and share that experience with my daughter. And
that's awesome.
She'd get to see, like, I'd introduce her to people of like, oh yeah, these are friends of mine. These are friends of mine. So she got to see this, like, oh, James actually knows some people or something. That I don't know. I don't know if she is impressed by that at all or not, or it'd be like, oh yeah, this is, but and getting to enjoy that on a big screen. I say every time, if you get a chance to see something Star Wars on a big screen, go take it, because Star Wars is always good on a huge screen. And sometimes, it becomes that more cinematic.
Yeah,
absolutely. Because all the little Easter eggs, you can see them much more closely on a big screen. Yeah, it was fun seeing you and your daughter there. That was great.
Yeah, that was great.
All right, what surprised me is that Universal Studios in Orlando dropped this on us. We're gonna do a dark universe. What? A universe, a land with all the favorite monsters from yesteryear? This surprised and shocked me, since the recent Dark Universe films have not been doing very well or even well at the box office, and you would think they would focus on more Minions or more Fast and Furious. How many times can we Tokyo drift around this park? Let's find out and build a land. But no. I'm so excited to go into this land where you get to go into Dracula's castle and see Frankenstein's windmill and the Wolfman roller coaster. We are so excited to go in October for this. Unfortunately, it opens in May. We can't get there until October. But I've never been this excited since Galaxy's Edge. And
I know the amount of reels that pop up on your feed now with your algorithm.
And it surprised me once again, because this is not a big money maker for Universal, but yet they're doing a whole land. Wow. So I'm guessing you two have your tickets?
No,
we haven't actually.
Yeah,
we're like, well, I don't really want to go when it's like brand new, because I know it's going to be insane, and the waits to get on and everything's going to be crazy. Because I don't know if you saw, like, when the Wizarding World opened here, the first part of the Hogsmeade, the line to get into the park went
all the way out to the
parking garage, which is insanely far. And it wasn't just like a single file line. It was like wide, and there was just a sea of people. And I'm just like, I don't really want to go be involved in that.
And kind of speaking to what I believe, James, I think you said it before too, it's that you get to the point in your life, anybody individually, you get to a point in your life where you have been invited to some things and you have been able to do this, or you have done this kind of stuff. And it's like, it comes down to a term I always like to use, is quality of life. It's like, do I really, this is probably awesome. This ride, whatever ride it is, it's probably fantastic. But is it worth 5 hours of my time, for this ride? And especially since we live in Orlando, it's kind of like, we kind of feel like, oh, just let everything die down, and then we'll go on when it's, we'll go after work one day.
I mean, we already heard that, like, they're not going to let us add it on, because we have annual passes, obviously, but they're not adding Epic Universe, at least for the first year. You have to buy a separate ticket to get in each time. So I'm like, well, if we're going to be buying a ticket to get in, I want to do it when I know I'm going to be able to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So, like,
and you're not going to be shoulder to shoulder with people. Wait for the
crowd to die out, and then we'll go and maybe like do Express or something, whatever they have.
And again, that's not saying anything bad about anybody who bought it, because we know tons of people. Our social media was blowing up the day tickets went on sale for Epic for like the opening day and that opening week. People are like, I got my tickets, and that's awesome for them. But just for us, we're like, we can wait. Because like I said, it kind of goes back to what James said before. It's just what I always say, like, it's quality of life, where you just go, is this worth it for me right now? Is it worth it for me to,
Having said that, I am also really excited for Dark Universe.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And the Monsters Unchained ride that's coming in there that has all those animatronics. I'm really, really excited to see what that's going to be.
And to your point, Richard, like you said, you go, I'm kind of surprised they did this because those movies haven't done. Yeah, but it's not even about the contemporary movies, Richard. It's about, that's Universal Monsters. Everybody knows. If you've never seen a Frankenstein movie, you know who Frankenstein is. If you've never seen Dracula movie, you know Dracula, vampire, you get werewolf. And I think that's, that's what it's based around. It's just about these monsters. So regardless if the contemporary movies haven't done well, this is a property and an IP for Universal that they're like, oh, right, this is going to work, Because, I mean, I haven't heard one person go, oh, my God, Dark Universe. Everyone's like, oh, that's awesome. That's something, that's something great. I mean, then didn't Disney follow up with that? Was it a
Villains Land? Yes.
And they're like, Villains Land. So we'll see what happens,
Yes. But seeing how these parks think, and we're gonna base everything on an IP we know will bring in, like the Fast and Furious roller coaster over here at Universal. People are going nuts over this because they love Fast and Furious, and they know they're gonna get more people into this. And I think with Dark Universe, it has the longevity. Because everyone loves the monsters. They know the monsters. Yeah. I couldn't tell you one character from the Fast and Furious. Right. I think there's Groot. Other than that, I don't know anyone else.
But are people really excited about the Fast and the Furious coaster, or are they just excited about a new coaster?
No, they're excited about the Fast and Furious theme. Of this.
Well, I see. I kind of look at it like, I think a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's a Fast and Furious. It's going to be a great coaster." I wonder if I don't think they're going to be like, "We get to see Vin Diesel's face when we go around in a loop or something." You know what I mean? I think it's more like people going, "It's a coaster. It's a new coaster."
It's a coaster on the side of a mountain.
Well, and plus the star of these films are these fast cars.
That's true. Yeah, it makes sense.
And that's the star of this roller coaster.
All right, so let's move on to one of our final questions here. What would be your hashtag for 2024? So, Richard, do you want to start?
Yes. I didn't think this would come up as much as it did, but I'm going to say hashtag defy gravity. And I say that because as much as fandoms have taken a beating these last few years, they just pick themselves back up and they try even harder. They don't stay down. They keep on moving, and they know that there's a lot of joy that brings that these things, that these shows and films they'll bring. Mm-hmm. So they're gonna pick themselves up. Okay, we didn't succeed with this. Let's try this. And they don't just let social media influencers or YouTubers or whoever keep them down.
Bring them down. Yes, that's true.
So yes, hashtag defy gravity.
Nice.
All right, Sarah.
I'm going to say my hashtag is yes, witch. And that's because between the Acolyte with their witchy clan, Agatha All Along with all its coven of witches, and of course Wicked, this is definitely the year of the witch. And I believe that also the musical Mean Girls came out, in which there is a line, yes, yes, bitch, the other word. So yes, witch. There we go.
Okay, James. And keep it clean, would you?
It's like, I don't know. Sarah said I could say that, so I don't know. I'm not really good at like coming up with a hashtag or seeing one that really stuck with me. So sorry, I'm gonna let you down here.
Okay, all right.
Hashtag James let us down in 2024.
Oh no!
All right, Kevin.
Mine would definitely be hashtag did I cry when Harrison came up to get his award? I did. That's a hashtag I cried for Harrison when he cried when he was receiving his award. Hashtag I'm a big nerd. Hashtag I'm a little embarrassed right now.
Hashtag we were there too.
We cracked the same way Harrison
cried.
did.
Yes, absolutely.
It was great. It was so great. It was so great.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, Angela.
I would say, just kind of going back to what we were talking about with the whole Epic Universe thing, like that's obviously like the talk of the town here in Orlando is Epic Universe, because it's not just the Dark Universe stuff that's cool. Like I feel like I've never seen the How to Train Your Dragons or anything like that, but the land looks really cool and they've been testing dragons flying around or whatever. So it's like, it seems like it's going to be a really cool park. So me and Kevin are always talking about, oh God, like Disney, you really
it's a game changer.
You need to be scared. So mine would be hashtag your move, Disney.
Oh
nice.
No! Oh, animatronic drop.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hashtag Star Wars crossword puzzle.
Yay!
Bringing it back around. I love it.
Hashtag today in Star Wars history. Your move.
Oh, that's so funny. No, I love it. There you go. See, James, you came up with one. I love it.
Okay,
and the throw out also to hashtag The Rise and Fall of the Galactic Empire by Chris Kempshaw.
Nice.
Hashtag Skywalking through my fandom.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh, that's funny.
All
All right.
right.
So as we wind down here, let's go with this one right over here. If you could go back in time and visit your 10...
Angela bought me a Tigger head for Christmas.
I love that.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's
Speak
so
it.
Angela,
cute.
that is epic.
I wanted to be part of the party. Sorry.
Oh.
It's okay.
All right, now as we wind down here, let's ask, if you could go back and visit your 10-year-old self, what would you say to he or she about 2024? Kevin?
Oh, I mean, again, I think about this. This comes up at least a few times a year. Like, what I would say to my 10-year-old self. I mean, like, behind me right now, I have a Tron video game. I have the Star Wars arcade game. I'm sitting next to a beautiful girl that has an Indiana Jones sweatshirt on. I've been really lucky in my career. I've done a lot of really, really cool things. But this year, what I would tell my 10-year-old self would be, hey, man, you're going to watch Harrison Ford accept his Disney Legend Award. And you've already met Harrison Ford a couple of times, too. So that's pretty cool. Oh, and then you're going to see Jamie Lee Curtis accept her award. And you've met her before, too. So I'd be like, what? You know, so, yeah, I mean, just life is good. We've been really blessed with all the nerdy stuff that we like. And we've been able to have, like, a lot of really fun stuff happen. So I'm always, at least once a year, I'll say to Angela, I'm like, my 10-year-old self would freak out if I told him the stuff I was able to do in my life. So I've been really, really fortunate, and I appreciate it.
Nice.
All right, Angela.
Probably as a huge Disney fan, like I was always hoping that maybe one day I'd get to go to Club 33. And luckily he has been able to take me a few times. So I would probably tell my 10-year-old self, hey, you're going to get to go and go to Club 33 like a few times in your life and get I always wanted the Club 33 like ears. Every time we go, they never have them. They're always sold out. But there was I think the last time that we were there, not last year, the year before, they finally had like the Christmas ones. So I did get myself a pair of the Christmas Club 33 ears, which I really loved.
Well, I went last. I one of the trips I was in California without Angela. I went last year, and didn't I get you the tiki room?
The shag ones.
The shag ones. Yeah.
Club 33 like tiki room shag ears.
Yeah, those are fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, they have such beautiful ears and like spirit jerseys there. Yeah, nice, awesome.
Okay, James.
Yes.
If you could go back in time.
If I could go back in time and tell 10-year-old self about 2024, obviously the big thing, it would be like, dude, you write a freaking Star Wars crossword puzzles book and it's published. And I mean, that would have just blown my mind because it's two things I really love coming together that 10-year-old James really, really loved. Doing any kind of puzzles, doing stuff with Star Wars, and then realizing, it would percolate through my brain that Star Wars is still around and really awesome in 2024.
Yeah.
So that would have blown my mind, I think, to know that.
Yeah, that is very huge.
And then
love it.
Just like Kevin said, just feeling, so blessed to have so much nerdery and geekdom in your life. And all these wonderful experiences, like going to Madeira Island to check out Star Wars filming sites. James would be like, "What's Madeira Island?" and
what's the Acolyte?
and what's the Acolyte? And what's they're still making Star Wars, and there's a Star Wars Goonies show, and just yeah,
such cool stuff.
Yeah, exactly. There's such cool stuff, and you get to be a part of it, and you get to meet some really cool people on the way. On the Witch's Road.
On the Witch's Road.
Nice.
All right, Sarah.
Oh my gosh. I would tell my 10-year-old self, that witch costume that you wore for Halloween, it'll never go out of style. So make sure you keep it. And then have your mom make you a nice witch costume cloak so that you can then wear it years and years later. I'll keep mine very simple.
Okay.
It's all about the witches.
Okay. I'm going to go back to November the 26th, 1979. And how do I know this? Because I kept my 5th grade journal here. And I just happened to be going over this and I realized, I should make amends for this. So I'm going to apologize to my friend Billy Mazzetti. because I had pushed him off the top bunk when he was having his birthday sleepover, and we had just gotten really tired. We're all just falling into bed, and at home, I slept at the top bunk, and then when he tried to jump in, it's like, this is mine. I don't care whose house I'm at. If there's a top bunk, it's mine.
Did you hurt him?
Billy was very, very strong.
Okay.
You could throw him off of anything. He'll bounce right back again. And oddly enough, I just had a chat with my friend Billy Mazzetti just a couple of days ago. We found each other on Facebook and said, hey, let's video chat. So after 40 some odd years, I finally got a chance to speak to my old best friend, Billy Mazzetti. And I'm still within that grace period of being forgiven, so I do need to call him back, because this was before I had read my journal.
Oh, I bet he's been holding on to that.
I'm sure, because as you can see right there, November 26th, 1979.
That's great.
Wow.
Yeah, this is why and then I would tell my fifth grade teacher, Mr. Height, hey, can you remind us to write more in these? Because this goes from November 26th to December 10th.
Aww.
And I'm lucky, and I'm fortunate I even have these journals, because there's so much of my life. It's like, I did that, and when did I do that? And some of this information I used for today in Star Wars history.
Nice.
It's like, now I have a document on when this happened.
That's awesome.
So cool.
Yeah, so Billy, if you're watching, I'm sorry. I'm really. It was your birthday. It was instead of a birthday noogie, a birthday push off the top bunk.
Oh
man.
All right, we're gonna round this off with our final question. We're gonna look ahead to 2025. Do you have a personal fandom goal in your fandom for 2025? So a fandom goal.
Let me start off this one here.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna say we're gonna host 11 panels this coming year, 2025, to commemorate 11 years of skywalking through Neverland.
Nice.
Thank you very much. I think we can knock out 3 or 4 at Comic-Con.
Hopefully.
And a few more at Houston Comic Palooza, but our magic number is 11, and that is my goal.
I like that goal. Cool.
All right. What is your goal?
Okay, my goal, I feel like we have a massive library of 496 shows, plus more, because we did other stuff, of Skywalking Through Neverland. And I feel like I want to listen back and cherry pick a few segments to re-edit for social media, or those weeks that we need a break from the podcast episode. We can re-edit some of those really gold, very evergreen content that we have, like some of those Margaret Carey interviews, or we've interviewed Gary Kurtz, all kinds of people that we have on, and some Imagineers. So I feel like we have absolute gold in that back catalog, and including several interviews now with people that have passed away, actually. So I feel like it would be great to shine new light on that and re-edit for social media now with the reels and things. So yeah, that's my goal.
Now, we do that before or after you tackle the Kindle today in Star Wars history?
Probably before, because it's a little more manageable.
Okay.
All
right, that's fine. All right, James.
I was going to say, Sarah, you got to be able to finish the Kindle thing before Kindles are completely gone.
Yeah, maybe we should just record an audiobook.
Yeah.
All right, James.
Well, I'm going to do my goal for 2025 is to record the audiobook version of Star Wars Crossword Puzzles and other word games from a galaxy far, far away. It's going to be epic. Just imagine trying to do a crossword puzzle in your head as I read the clues to you in my very nice voice. No, my real goal is Star Wars Celebration Japan. That's the plan. I have several panel submissions in the pipe, and hopefully one or more of those will get picked up. I'm really looking forward to going there. Be my first time to Japan. Bring the family along, and so that's what I'm really looking forward to for 2025.
Oh,
that's
nice.
Awesome. We'll be definitely following you on that.
Very, very jealous. All right,
go to Japan. Definitely hit up Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea.
Yeah, sure. I definitely want to go to Disney Sea because they have all sorts of stuff that they don't have anywhere else.
You should definitely go. You can't park hop, but you should definitely go to both parks because Tokyo Disneyland is I always tell people, imagine your best day at the Magic Kingdom or your best day at Disneyland, and then times 100 is Tokyo Disneyland.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
The entertainment's
Wow.
great. Just everything is, yeah, it's great. It's really good.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right, Kevin.
I mean, as far as fandom, I don't really have a fandom goal. Like, I hope to do this. Like we've talked about, I love meeting people, so, I hope good stuff happens there. And I really look forward to Superman, James Gunn's Superman. I'm really looking forward to that. I love the trailer, and I hope it's everything that I think it's going to be, which I think it's going to be. So we'll see.
In Gunn we trust.
Yeah, that trailer had me like just on the floor in tears in a puddle.
You got me at crypto.
Yeah, got me at the music.
I mean, just simply seeing crypto, I mean, it kind of goes to like seeing Hugh Jackman in the yellow Wolverine costume, because 20th Century Fox and Marvel was like, we can't put him in those costumes, that look ridiculous.
Right.
And look, do they look ridiculous? No, I mean, they look great. And seeing crypto, I'm sure tons of people are at Warner's. It's like, we can't do crypto, and it's like, why can't you do crypto? So I'm looking forward to that.
All right, Angela, let's wrap it up with you. Make it good, Angela. Make it good.
Money, but
So I do have a goal, Wicked related. So the awards show that we work at every year
that's true.
is coming up in February, and it's looking like I'm pretty sure the Wicked cast is going to end up getting nominated for that. So my goal is I have to meet the cast of Wicked, and however I can make that possible when I'm working there. I really want to do that. So I'm going to try to make that happen.
That's a good goal. That's good, because
That's a great goal.
We do the award show, but then we go to the after party too,
Yeah.
which is great too. So that is I hope that happens for you.
That's awesome, and we want to hear stories.
Yes.
Yay. All right.
You're invited back right afterwards.
Yay. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And before we go, we have to know where our Skywalkers can find you on social media. So, Kevin, why don't we start with you?
You can find me, on Facebook, Kevin Vincent. On Instagram, I'm Disney R2D2. So you can find me on there.
Okay, sounds good. And Angela?
I pretty much just use Instagram mostly. So I would be at Angela Deanna, Deanna is the spelling on the last part. But yeah, I use Instagram mostly.
Okay, awesome.
All right. And James.
You can find me on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X as at James Jawa. And then, that I'm kind of bouncing around through social media, whether, probably shifting more to Blue Sky and Instagram these days.
And also at Star Warsologies, too.
Oh, and at Star Warsologies, yes,
Yeah.
for the podcast on all those platforms as well.
Yeah.
All right, so there you have it. Thank you, everyone, for your very insightful, thoughtful answers.
Yeah.
We learned a lot about everybody.
Yeah, thanks for spending such time with us, too. So, yay. Here's to 2025.
Thank you so much for inviting us. Yeah, absolutely. And James, congratulations about your book. And I love how many times that you brought it up, because you should be absolutely proud of yourself. That's amazing.
Yeah, if you know James, I was expecting more.
Amazing.
I didn't want to bring it up for every single thing. That would just be the James talking about Star Wars crossword puzzles and other word games from a galaxy far, far away. We get it now from Chronicle Books.
And the SKU number?
The SKU number.
Nice.
All right, so now we got to go through this whole thing again, but now we got to record it. That was a dress rehearsal.
That's good drawing. We can do better.
This time, no one can mention Wicked, okay?
Oh no!
Oh, wow! I know that would chop half of it off right there.
Oh, I'm gonna get in wicked trouble for that.
Yeah.
All right, Happy New Year, everybody!
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Well, that wraps up episode 498 of
Skywalking Through Neverland. We want to thank James Floyd, Kevin and Angela Vincent for helping us wrap up 2024 and spring into 2025. It'd be fun to see if we stuck to our guns next year.
Yes.
Will these 2025 promises hold? Come back in a year and find out.
Or will we be embarrassed?
And we want to thank all you Skywalkers for watching our YouTube shows, subscribing to our YouTube channel. We only need a couple more.
Mm-hmm.
And it's up to you, Skywalkers. We're going to put everything onto you. That's a pretty heavy burden to carry throughout the rest of this year.
Now you can also find us on all socials at Skywalking Pod. Now, do you have things you want to share? Well, on Mondays at 6 p.m. Pacific on YouTube, we share things that we've done in the past week or things that we've collected, or we invite you Skywalkers to come on as well and share things that you have added to your collection or something cool that you have done.
Speaking of cool things we have done, are you interested in our books? Something that we have done? Today in Star Wars History, Parts 1 and 2, and Skywalking Through My Fandom. We can get all those books at skywalkingthroughneverland.com/book. That's where you can get the autographed copies. Oh, autographed copies.
And the only place where you can get the hardcover copies now.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very important.
Now, do you also want to support Skywalking Through Neverland in another way? Well, consider supporting us through the Skywalking Force, which is our Patreon. The Skywalking Force has access to bonus content, such as our Zoom or StreamYard discussions on the Disney Plus shows. You get some fun stuff during the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to keep us going for another 11 years.
That's right. Bonus content begins at only $5 a month, so head to skywalkingforce.com, have a look at those options, and thank you to the 50 strong who are part of the Skywalking Force.
Now, we also want to thank our sponsor once again, Small World Vacations, for their continued support. Thinking of a trip to a Disney park, a Universal park, or a Disney cruise? Well, you can fill out a Get a Quote form at smallworldvacations.com today. Their vacation planning service is free of charge, so check them out and tell them Skywalking Through Neverland sent you.
All right, Skywalkers, get ready, and you're in the chat. Now, we are part of the Skywalking Network. Where you can find other great shows like Talking Apes,
the Max Effects Podcast,
the Neverland Clubhouse,
Totally Tell Me Everything,
Star Warsologies,
and the YouTube shows Collectopolis and
Today in Star Wars History.
And
always remember
that you are much appreciated from the Skywalking Network.
And
Neverland on Alderaan. Happy New Year.
All right, we can't go anywhere from there.
No.
All right, Neverland on Alderaan. Bye, Skywalkers.
Bye-bye, everyone. Thanks for watching. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We'll talk to you next year. Woo! Perfect.
Hey, look at those names to the left. They are part of the Skywalking Force, our Patreon.
Become a producer yourself and check out all the Disney Plus themed bonus content available depending on the level you subscribe.
Become a member of the elite Skywalking Force at skywalkingforce.com.